20 oldest black actresses who are surprisingly still alive that will shock you. Welcome to our channel, Legends of Black Excellence. Today, we're taking you on a powerful journey through time to spotlight 20 legendary black actresses who are still alive and still inspiring us all. You may know their names, but you might be surprised by their age, legacy, and the groundbreaking roles they've played. From stage to screen, these women shattered barriers and rewrote history. Ready to be amazed by who's still making history? Let's get started. Marla Gibbs. Marla Gibbs has defied both time and expectations, continuing to shine at the remarkable age of 93. Born on June 14, 1931, in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, Gibbs became a household name through her iconic portrayal of Florence Johnston on The Jeffersons, a role that earned her 5 Emmy nominations and cemented her as a pioneer in black television history. But her career is far more than one legendary sitcom. After relocating to Los Angeles in 1963 to recover from illness, she transitioned from a career in airline services to the world of acting, first finding her footing in black exploitation films like Sweet Jesus, Preacher Man. She eventually broadened her talents beyond acting, taking on roles as a producer, writer, and even running her own jazz club in South Central LA. Gibbs' commitment to community storytelling and uplifting black narratives led her to create, produce, and star in 227, a sitcom that celebrated the warmth, humor, and resilience of black women. Off-screen, she was a trailblazer for creative independence, championing authentic black representation long before it became a talking point in Hollywood. Despite personal losses and industry shifts, Gibbs never disappeared from the spotlight. She appeared in shows like Scandal, Blackish, and Grey's Anatomy, always bringing wisdom and sharp comedic timing to her roles. Her daughter, Angela Gibbs, has followed in her footsteps, adding another generational layer to Marla's legacy. At 93, Marla Gibbs is more than just a veteran actress. She's a living archive of black television history, a symbol of longevity, and a testament to the power of staying true to one's voice. In a world where fame can be fleeting, Gibbs' enduring presence proves that true talent and resilience never fade. Irma P. Hall. Irma P. Hall is a living embodiment of grace, strength, and soulful storytelling. At 89 years old, this Texas-born powerhouse has left an unforgettable imprint on both stage and screen with her portrayals of matriarchal figures that resonate deeply across generations. Born on June 3, 1935, in Beaumont and raised on the south side of Chicago, Hall spent over 2 decades as a French and Spanish teacher before stepping into the world of acting at the age of 37, a late start by Hollywood standards, but a bold beginning for a remarkable journey. Her breakout role came in the independent film Book of Numbers, which led to powerful performances in A Family Thing, Soul Food, and the Coen brothers' The Lady Killers. It was Soul Food that introduced Hall to a wider audience, where she played the family's emotional center with wisdom, humor, and quiet authority. The role earned her critical acclaim and a permanent place in the hearts of moviegoers. In 2004, Hall survived a near-fatal car accident that temporarily halted her career. Yet, with resilience and faith, she returned to acting stronger than ever, appearing in acclaimed series like Collateral, Chicago Fire, and Hap and Leonard. Off-screen, she remains deeply rooted in her community in Dallas, embracing her Catholic faith and family life. Irma P. Hall's enduring career is a testament to perseverance, passion, and the undeniable power of second acts. In an industry obsessed with youth, she stands as a beacon of what it means to grow older with purpose, dignity, and unshakable talent. At nearly 90, she continues to inspire both audiences and aspiring actors alike, proving that some stars only burn brighter with age. Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle isn't just a legendary voice, she's a force of nature who has gracefully expanded her reign beyond music into film, television, and activism. At 80 years old, born on May 24, 1944, in Philadelphia, LaBelle continues to captivate audiences with a career spanning more than 6 decades. From humble beginnings as the lead singer of Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, she helped redefine the sound of soul in the 1960s and exploded onto the mainstream in the 70s with the trailblazing group LaBelle and their feminist anthem Lady Marmalade. After the group disbanded in 1976, Patti launched an unstoppable solo career, becoming a household name with hits like If Only You Knew, New Attitude, and her iconic duet On My Own with Michael McDonald. Her powerhouse vocals and emotional depth earned her multiple Grammy Awards and the reverence of generations of fans. But Patti LaBelle's impact didn't stop at music. She made memorable appearances in films like A Soldier's Story and Beverly Hills Cop, and starred in her own sitcom, Out All Night. Her presence on cooking shows and holiday specials showcased another side of her, nurturing, funny, and endlessly relatable. She also launched her own line of sweet potato pies, turning them into a viral phenomenon and redefining celebrity branding. A longtime advocate for AIDS awareness, diabetes education, and civil rights, Patty has used her platform to uplift communities with both her voice and her values. Still performing live, still empowering women, and still stunning audiences with her fierce fashion and fearless soul, Patti LaBelle is the very definition of timeless. At 80, she's not just surviving, she's thriving. Patti remains a living legend who reminds us all that reinvention, resilience, and real talent never go out of style. Diana Ross. Diana Ross, often hailed as the Queen of Motown, remains an enduring icon of music, style, and cinematic grace at 81 years old. Born on March 26, 1944, in Detroit, Michigan, Ross rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most influential figures in American pop culture. As the lead singer of the Supremes, she helped shape the sound of the 1960s, delivering 12 #1 hits and becoming part of the best-charting female group in U.S. history. Her transition to a solo career in 1970 was nothing short of triumphant. With classic tracks like Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Touch Me in the Morning, and Upside Down, she broke barriers for black female artists and set new standards for crossover success. Ross also dazzled in Hollywood, earning a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination for her unforgettable portrayal of Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues, followed by roles in Mahogany and The Wiz. Beyond her dazzling performances, Diana Ross became a cultural symbol of elegance, confidence, and empowerment. Her influence on fashion, those sequined gowns, voluminous curls, and commanding stage presence, made her a muse to designers and a model of black excellence for generations. Though she faced personal and public struggles, including a well-documented battle with substance abuse and legal troubles, Ross always returned to the spotlight with resilience and grace. She has raised 5 children, including Tracee Ellis Ross, herself a celebrated actress. In 2023, Ross made headlines once again with her continued touring and a surprise appearance at the Grammy Awards, proving that even after more than 60 years in the spotlight, her star hasn't dimmed. At 81, Diana Ross is more than a legend, she's a living monument to talent, tenacity, and timeless glamour. Leslie Uggams. Leslie Uggams has dazzled audiences for over 7 decades, evolving from a child prodigy into one of the most respected and versatile entertainers of her generation. Born on May 25, 1943, in Harlem, New York, Uggams began performing at the age of 6, appearing on television and sharing stages with jazz greats like Ella Fitzgerald at the Apollo Theater. By her teens, her poise and vocal talent had already marked her as a rising star. Her big breakthrough came in the 1960s as a regular on Sing Along with Mitch, where she became one of the few black performers with consistent screen time on a mainstream variety show. In 1968, Uggams made history by winning a Tony Award for her starring role in Hallelujah, Baby, a performance that showcased her dynamic presence and vocal mastery on Broadway. But it was her Emmy-nominated portrayal of Kizzy Reynolds in the 1977 miniseries Roots that solidified her place in television history. Her emotionally rich performance captivated millions and earned her acclaim across racial and generational lines. Beyond her professional achievements, Leslie Uggams also broke barriers in her personal life. She married Australian actor Graham Pratt in 1965, a time when interracial marriages were still illegal in several U.S. states. Their enduring love story has defied social expectations and remains an inspiration. Even into her 80s, Uggams shows no signs of slowing down. Younger audiences now know her as Blind Al in the Deadpool film series, where her comedic timing proves that her talent is ageless. Whether commanding the stage, screen, or studio, Leslie Uggams continues to redefine what longevity in entertainment looks like. At 81, she is not just still active, she's still stealing scenes, commanding respect, and reminding the world why true legends never fade. Ernestine Jackson. Ernestine Jackson stands as one of Broadway's most compelling and underrated forces, with a career marked by elegance, emotional depth, and trailblazing achievements. Born on September 18, 1942, in Corpus Christi, Texas, Jackson is now 82 years old, and her legacy remains firmly rooted in the annals of American theater history. She began turning heads in 1967 when she joined the all-black Broadway production of Hello, Dolly, starring Pearl Bailey, taking on the role of Irene Malloy. But it was her performance as Ruth Younger in the musical Raisin, an adaptation of Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun, that truly launched her into the spotlight. Her portrayal earned her both a Theatre World Award and a Tony nomination, signaling the arrival of a formidable talent. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Jackson lit up the stage with starring roles in productions like the all-black revival of Guys and Dolls, where she once again earned a Tony nomination. She later embodied legendary figures such as Alberta Hunter in Cookin' at the Cookery and Billie Holiday in Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, receiving critical acclaim for her ability to transform biography into living, breathing performance. Jackson's versatility extended beyond the stage to film and television, where she appeared in titles such as The Bonfire of the Vanities and Freedomland. Her commanding presence and vocal strength made her a natural fit for roles that demanded both grace and grit. Though not a household name like some of her peers, Ernestine Jackson's influence in theater circles is profound. Her commitment to portraying complex black women with nuance and dignity helped open doors for generations of actresses to follow. At 82, she remains a symbol of quiet excellence and unshakable artistry in American performance history. Denise Nicholas. Denise Nicholas is a name that resonates far beyond the screen, representing a life shaped by artistry, activism, and intellectual depth. Now 80 years old, born on July 12, 1944, in Detroit, Michigan, Nicholas began her career not in front of cameras, but on the front lines of the civil rights movement. A member of the Free Southern Theater, she toured the Deep South performing socially conscious plays for black communities, blending her passion for justice with her love for storytelling. Her breakout role came in the late 1960s as Liz McIntyre, a compassionate guidance counselor in the groundbreaking series Room 222. The role earned her 3 consecutive Golden Globe nominations and made her one of the first black actresses to achieve sustained success in primetime television. Nicholas brought poise, intelligence, and authenticity to a role that helped redefine black representation during a pivotal time in American culture. She further cemented her place in entertainment history with her role as Harriet DeLong in The Heat of the Night, a series that tackled racism, policing, and social issues with grit and sensitivity. Off-screen, Nicholas wasn't just acting, she was writing. In 2005, she published her debut novel, Freshwater Road, a critically acclaimed coming-of-age story set during the Freedom Summer of 1964. The book was widely praised for its emotional depth and historical insight. With a career spanning activism, acting, and authorship, Denise Nicholas has lived a life of purpose and impact. She has never sought the spotlight for fame's sake. Instead, she's used her platform to reflect the complexities and beauty of the black experience. At 80, her legacy continues to shine not just through her performances, but through the truth and courage she's brought to every chapter of her life's work. Anna Maria Horsford. Anna Maria Horsford, now 77 years old, has built a career defined by versatility, charisma, and quiet cultural impact. Born on March 6, 1948, in Harlem, New York, she grew up in a vibrant household shaped by Caribbean roots. Her father hailed from Barbuda and her mother from Antigua. That rich cultural background, combined with a New York City upbringing, gave Horsford the boldness and depth that would soon translate seamlessly onto stage and screen. She began her acting journey with Joe Papp's public theater and programs like Harlem Youth for Change before landing early television work. But it was her role as Thelma Fry in the hit sitcom Amen that introduced her to millions. As the whip-smart daughter of a deacon, Horsford's comedic timing and warm screen presence made her a staple in black households throughout the late 80s. She later reached a new generation of fans with her portrayal of Dee Baxter, the no-nonsense mother in the Wayans brothers, bringing laughter and wisdom in equal measure. Film audiences may also remember her as Mrs. Jones, Ice Cube's tough love mom, in Friday and Friday After Next, where she brought humor and heart to every scene. Beyond sitcoms and classic comedies, Horsford has remained a steady force in drama, with roles in The Bold and the Beautiful, earning her multiple Daytime Emmy nominations, and guest appearances in shows like Grey's Anatomy, The Shield, and Blackish. With a career spanning more than 5 decades, Anna Maria Horsford has never relied on flash or controversy. Instead, she's earned admiration through consistency, skill, and sincerity. At 77, she continues to work, inspire, and evolve, proving that talent, when grounded in authenticity, can thrive across any generation. Pam Grier. Pam Grier, now 75 years old, remains one of the most iconic and groundbreaking figures in film history, a true trailblazer who redefined what it meant to be a female action star. Born on May 26, 1949, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and raised in a military family that moved frequently, Grier's path to stardom was anything but conventional. Her diverse heritage, Black, Hispanic, Chinese, Filipino, and Cheyenne, infused her identity with cultural richness that would later be reflected in her commanding screen presence. She rose to fame in the 1970s as the undisputed queen of blaxploitation cinema. With films like Coffee, Foxy Brown, and Sheba, Baby, Greer flipped the script on traditional gender roles, playing fierce, unapologetic women who took down corrupt men with style, strength, and attitude. Her characters weren't damsels, they were warriors, avengers, and protectors, resonating powerfully with black audiences at a time when Hollywood offered few empowering portrayals of black women. Despite early typecasting, Greer's talent proved far more expansive. She showcased her dramatic range in Jackie Brown, Quentin Tarantino's love letter to her legacy, earning a Golden Globe nomination and critical acclaim for her nuanced performance. She continued to evolve, landing television roles in The L Word, Smallville, and Bless This Mess, and became a beloved figure for new generations discovering her impact. Off-screen, Greer is a cancer survivor and passionate advocate for women's health and animal rights. She's also a published author. Her memoir Foxy, My Life in 3 Acts offers a raw, heartfelt look at her struggles and triumphs. At 75, Pam Grier's legacy is firmly etched in Hollywood history. She shattered ceilings, rewrote the rules, and showed the world that a black woman could be beautiful, bold, and completely unstoppable. Loretta Devine. Loretta Devine, now 75 years old, is one of Hollywood's most beloved and enduring actresses, a powerhouse of stage and screen whose voice, presence, and emotional depth have captivated audiences for over 4 decades. Born on August 21, 1949, in Houston, Texas, Devine was raised by her mother, a single parent, in the Acres Homes neighborhood. Her early love for performance blossomed during school talent shows and pep rallies, paving the way for a life in the arts. Her breakthrough came on Broadway in the original cast of Dreamgirls, where she originated the role of Laurel Robinson. Her performance, alongside stars like Jennifer Holliday and Cheryl Lee Ralph, electrified audiences and cemented Devine as a stage talent to watch. But she soon transitioned seamlessly to film and television, building a resume filled with rich, heartfelt performances. Devine shined in films like Waiting to Exhale, where she portrayed the hopeful and tender-hearted Gloria Matthews, earning widespread recognition for her authenticity and emotional warmth. She later stunned in For Colored Girls, and charmed as the wise Aunt May in Tyler Perry's Medea's Big Happy Family. On television, she's just as impactful. Her Emmy-winning role as Adele Weber on Grey's Anatomy left an unforgettable mark, and her voice work as Hallie in Doc McStuffins made her a favorite among younger audiences. In recent years, she's continued to delight viewers as the matriarch in Netflix's Family Reunion, showcasing her comedic chops and maternal grace. Devine's longevity in Hollywood is fueled not by hype, but by heart. She brings warmth, soul, and a sense of realness to every role she inhabits. At 75, Loretta Devine continues to inspire with her talent, charm, and unwavering dedication to the craft, reminding us that true stars don't just shine, they illuminate generations. Daphne Maxwell Reid. Daphne Maxwell Reid, now 76 years old, is a trailblazing actress, model, and creative force who broke barriers long before most people realized they needed breaking. Born on July 13, 1948, in New York City, she grew up in a household led by educators and achievers. Her mother was a lab technician, and her father was a Navy veteran and business owner. Reid excelled academically, graduating from the Bronx High School of Science before earning a full scholarship to Northwestern University, where she became the first black woman to be crowned homecoming queen. But her beauty wasn't her only headline. Reid made history again by becoming the first black woman to appear on the cover of Glamour magazine in the early 1970s, a moment that opened doors not just for her, but for generations of black models and actresses to come. Though she started as a model, her ambitions stretched far beyond fashion. Daphne transitioned to acting with grace, landing recurring roles in popular TV series like Simon & Simon and Frank's Place. However, she's best known to audiences around the world for her portrayal of the second Aunt Vivian on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from 1993 to 1996. Stepping into an already beloved role, Reid brought poise, wit, and warmth to the character, quickly making it her own. Beyond television, Reid is a gifted photographer, clothing designer, and advocate for the arts. Alongside her husband, actor Tim Reid, she co-founded New Millennium Studios in Virginia, the first black-owned film studio since the 1930s. Daphne Maxwell Reid's career has been defined by quiet revolution. She didn't just show up, she reshaped the rules, defied expectations, and left her imprint on every field she touched. At 76, her influence continues to be both inspiring and enduring. Pauletta Washington. Pauletta Washington, now 74 years old, is a multifaceted artist whose talents often shine just beyond the public spotlight, but her influence in the entertainment world is undeniable. Born Pauletta Pearson on September 28, 1950, in Newton, North Carolina, she was raised in an education-focused household. Her father was a school principal and her mother a teacher. That early emphasis on discipline and excellence shaped the course of her life, both creatively and personally. Before she ever became known as the wife of Oscar-winning actor Denzel Washington, Pauletta had already carved out her own path as a classically trained pianist and accomplished stage actress. She studied at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts and later attended the prestigious Juilliard School, where her commitment to craft was unmistakable. In 1970, she made history as the first black contestant to compete in the Miss North Carolina pageant, finishing as second runner-up. Her acting credits include appearances in films such as Philadelphia and Antoine Fisher, as well as television roles in The Parkers, Happily Ever After, Fairy Tales for Every Child, and She's Gotta Have It. Yet, it's often her off-screen work that has left the most lasting impact. Pauletta has been a steady advocate for arts education and co-founded the Pauletta and Denzel Washington Gifted Scholars Program in neuroscience, supporting students in scientific research and medicine. Through over 4 decades of marriage, 4 children, and a life shared in the public eye, Pauletta Washington has maintained her grace, intellect, and quiet strength. She embodies resilience, artistry, and legacy, not just as a partner to greatness, but as a woman of immense talent in her own right. At 74, she continues to inspire with her lifelong devotion to excellence, both on stage and beyond. Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen, now 75 years old, is a true Renaissance woman whose contributions to the arts have shaped generations of performers and storytellers. Born on January 16, 1950, in Houston, Texas, she was raised in a household steeped in culture and creativity. Her father was an orthodontist, while her mother, Vivian Ayres Allen, was a Pulitzer-nominated poet and activist, setting the foundation for Debbie's lifelong commitment to artistic excellence and social impact. Denied admission to the Houston Ballet Academy at age 12 due to race, Allen's undeniable talent eventually earned her a place with the school a year later, thanks to the insistence of a Russian instructor. She later earned a degree in classical Greek literature, speech, and theater from Howard University, followed by intensive acting training in New York. Debbie Allen's breakout moment came in the 1980s as the fiery dance instructor Lydia Grant in Fame, a role that made her a pop culture icon. Her line, "You want fame? Well, fame costs, and right here is where you start paying, in sweat," became a mantra for aspiring artists. Behind the scenes, she choreographed the show, winning multiple Emmy Awards for her work. But Allen didn't stop at acting and choreography. She has directed and produced numerous television hits, including Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and A Different World, while also running the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, which trains underserved youth in the arts. A tireless advocate for diversity and access, Allen's influence spans stage, screen, and classroom alike. Married to former NBA player Norm Nixon and mother of 3, including dancer Vivian Nixon, Debbie continues to mentor and lead by example. At 75, she remains a driving force in entertainment, proving that creative brilliance, when matched with vision and purpose, only grows stronger with time. Alfre Woodard. Alfre Woodard, at 72 years old, stands as one of the most acclaimed and commanding actresses in Hollywood history. Born on November 8, 1952, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Woodard's career spans over 4 decades and boasts a level of range, intelligence, and emotional depth few can rival. From her early days studying drama at Boston University to becoming a household name, Woodard has consistently chosen roles that challenge convention and elevate representation. Her breakout came with the 1983 TV film Miss Evers' Boys, where her stirring portrayal of a nurse involved in the Tuskegee syphilis study earned her an Emmy Award, one of 4 she would collect over her career. With performances in Crooklyn, Passion Fish, 12 Years a Slave, and Clemency, Woodard has demonstrated time and again that she is as powerful in quiet vulnerability as she is in fierce defiance. Her work is rich, nuanced, and often focused on exploring the complexities of Black womanhood with dignity and strength. Beyond acting, Woodard is a passionate activist. She co-founded Artists for a New South Africa, an organization dedicated to supporting post-apartheid democracy and raising AIDS awareness. She's also a vocal advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, social justice, and voter engagement. Despite her immense talent, Woodard has often flown under the mainstream radar, earning critical acclaim rather than blockbuster fame. But in the eyes of peers and true film lovers, she is a legend. Her ability to transform any role, be it mother, revolutionary, or leader, into something unforgettable speaks volumes of her artistry. Living in Santa Monica with her husband and 2 children, Alfre Woodard continues to take on meaningful projects that reflect her commitment to truth, humanity, and justice. At 72, she remains a towering figure in American cinema and a beacon of what principled, passionate storytelling looks like. CCH Pounder. CCH Pounder, now 72 years old, has built a remarkable legacy as one of the most distinctive and commanding presences in television and film. Born Carol Christine Ilaria Pounder on December 25, 1952, in British Guiana, now Guyana, she was raised on a sugar plantation before moving to London for her education. Her full name, bestowed to honor her grandmothers and godmothers, reflects the deep sense of heritage that would later influence her grounded and dignified performances. Pounder began her screen career with a small role in All That Jazz, but quickly proved she was more than a supporting player. Her work on television throughout the 1980s and 90s, including recurring roles on Hill Street Blues, The X-Files, and ER, showcased her commanding screen presence and emotional range. However, it was her Emmy-nominated performance as Detective Claudette Wims on The Shield that solidified her as a powerhouse, tough, principled, and unforgettable. She continued to expand her repertoire with major roles in Avatar, Sons of Anarchy, and NCIS: New Orleans, becoming a fixture in both blockbuster cinema and prestige television. In animation and video games, her rich, authoritative voice has brought characters to life in projects like Justice League Unlimited and the Batman: Arkham series. Off-screen, CCH Pounder is a dedicated activist. She co-founded Artists for a New South Africa, focusing on post-apartheid justice, HIV/AIDS awareness, and human rights. She also promotes Caribbean art and culture through her personal collection and museum work. Known for portraying strong, complex black women, Pounder has never chased celebrity. Instead, she's let her work speak, loud, clear, and impactful. At 72, she remains a living example of how depth, purpose, and fearless talent can redefine what it means to be a woman of power in Hollywood. Lonette Rita McKee. Lonette Rita McKee, now 70 years old, is a dynamic and groundbreaking talent whose career has spanned music, film, and Broadway, earning her a place among the most versatile black actresses of her era. Born on July 22, 1954, in Detroit, Michigan, McKee grew up in a multicultural household. Her mother was of Swedish descent, and her father African American. This rich blend of backgrounds, combined with her early exposure to the arts, shaped her fearless approach to performance. She began as a musical prodigy, writing songs and performing professionally by age 14. But it was her electrifying portrayal of Sister Williams in the 1976 cult classic Sparkle that made her a star. McKee's blend of emotional vulnerability and vocal power in the film's soundtrack remains iconic, influencing generations of black female performers who followed. Beyond the silver screen, McKee made history as the first African-American woman to play the role of Julie in the Broadway production of Show Boat, a part traditionally reserved for white actresses. Her performance earned her critical acclaim and a Tony nomination, breaking racial barriers and opening doors in the world of musical theater. She continued to take on complex roles in films like Which Way Is Up, Round Midnight, and Malcolm X, often portraying intelligent, layered women navigating love, identity, and ambition. A gifted songwriter and recording artist, McKee also released several solo albums, further showcasing her creative range. In recent years, she's shared her experience as an educator, teaching acting at institutions like Centenary University and mentoring emerging talent. Though she may not seek the spotlight in the same way today, her influence is undeniable. At 70, Lonette McKee remains a symbol of artistic courage and boundary-breaking brilliance, a true original who reshaped the narrative for black women in entertainment. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, now 69 years old, is a once-in-a-generation talent whose impact on Hollywood, comedy, and culture is nothing short of legendary. Born Karen Elaine Johnson on November 13, 1955, in Manhattan, New York, she was raised in the Chelsea Elliott housing projects by her single mother, Emma, a nurse and teacher. With a fierce wit and a bold spirit, Whoopi broke into the entertainment world with a voice unlike any other, funny, fearless, and unflinchingly real. Her breakout moment came with her one-woman Broadway show in 1984, which led to her Academy Award-nominated performance as Celie in Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple. Just a few years later, she won an Oscar for her unforgettable role as the psychic Oda Mae Brown in Ghost, becoming only the second black woman to win Best Supporting Actress. From Sister Act to Jumpin' Jack Flash, Whoopi proved she could carry a blockbuster or steal a scene with equal ease. But Goldberg's achievements extend far beyond acting. She's one of the rare entertainers to achieve the coveted EGOT, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Her success spans genres, including voice work in The Lion King, Broadway producing, and television commentary. Since 2007, she served as a co-host on The View, where her sharp political insights and no-nonsense opinions have made her a central figure in daytime television. Off-screen, Whoopi is a staunch advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, reproductive freedom, and social justice. She's also a successful entrepreneur and author, never afraid to speak truth to power. At 69, Whoopi Goldberg is far more than a performer, she's a cultural institution. With her trailblazing career, unapologetic voice, and unwavering authenticity, she's shown the world that talent backed by courage can reshape history. Sheryl Lee Ralph. Sheryl Lee Ralph, now 68 years old, is a powerhouse of talent, activism, and longevity whose career has flourished across Broadway, television, and film for more than 4 decades. Born on December 30, 1956, in Waterbury, Connecticut, and raised between Long Island and Mandeville, Jamaica, Ralph inherited a deep cultural pride and an unstoppable drive from her Jamaican fashion designer mother and American college professor father. Her rise to stardom began on the Broadway stage, where in 1981 she originated the role of Deena Jones in the groundbreaking musical Dreamgirls. Her performance earned her a Tony Award nomination and solidified her as a commanding presence with stunning vocal power and emotional depth. But Ralph didn't stop at Broadway. She brought that same force to the screen in films like A Piece of the Action and series like It's a Living, Moesha, and Ray Donovan. In 2021, Ralph stunned a new generation of viewers with her Emmy-winning role as the no-nonsense yet nurturing Barbara Howard on Abbott Elementary. Her performance made history in 2022 when she became the second black woman to win Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series, and her acceptance speech, a powerful mix of song and gratitude, went viral for all the right reasons. Outside of acting, Ralph is a tireless advocate. She founded the Diva Foundation to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS and has long been a vocal supporter of women's health, education, and LGBTQ+ rights. Married to Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes since 2005, she seamlessly bridges entertainment and public service. At 68, Sheryl Lee Ralph is more than a celebrated performer. She is a living example of what it means to use your platform with purpose, proving that grace, strength, and authenticity are the true keys to lasting success. Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis, now 68 years old, is widely known as the Mother of Black Hollywood, a title she's proudly earned through decades of commanding performances, unfiltered honesty, and unapologetic authenticity. Born on January 25, 1957, in Kinloch, Missouri, Lewis was the youngest of 7 children, raised by a factory-working father and a mother who worked as a nurse's aide. She discovered her voice in church, and by age 5, she was already captivating audiences with her singing. After graduating from Kinloch High School and earning a degree from Webster University, Lewis moved to New York City, where she launched her career on Broadway and quickly became known for her powerhouse voice and magnetic presence. Though she initially auditioned for Dreamgirls and helped develop the role of Effie White in workshops, she lost the part when it hit Broadway. Undeterred, she pivoted to screen roles that would define her legacy. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Lewis became a staple of film and television, playing strong, witty, and memorable maternal figures in classics like What's Love Got to Do With It, The Preacher's Wife, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Think Like a Man. Her versatility has made her a standout in both comedic and dramatic roles, including her long-running portrayal of Ruby Johnson in Blackish, where she delivered scene-stealing moments with sass and soul. Off-screen, Jennifer Lewis has been a fearless mental health advocate. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder in the 1990s, she has spoken candidly about her struggles and recovery journey in her best-selling memoir, The Mother of Black Hollywood. Even after suffering a serious injury in 2022 from a fall in Serengeti, Lewis bounced back with the same resilience that has defined her career. At 68, Jennifer Lewis continues to inspire, entertain, and empower, proving that being bold, brilliant, and brutally honest is a legacy all its own. Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett, now 66 years old, is a true icon of American cinema, an actress whose career has been defined by strength, depth, and unapologetic excellence. Born on August 16, 1958, in New York City and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida, she was nurtured by her single mother, Betty Jane, who instilled in her daughters the value of education and ambition. That guidance led Bassett to Yale University, where she earned both a bachelor's degree and a Master of Fine Arts, laying the intellectual foundation for one of the most refined acting talents of her generation. Bassett's breakthrough came in 1993 with her transformative portrayal of Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do With It, a performance that earned her a Golden Globe and an Oscar nomination. With unmatched intensity and poise, she brought Turner's pain, resilience, and power to life, cementing her status as a leading lady capable of carrying emotionally complex roles. Over the years, she has portrayed some of the most influential black women in history, including Betty Shabazz in Malcolm X and Katherine Jackson in The Jacksons, An American Dream. Yet Bassett has also thrived in genre-defining pop culture, captivating audiences in Waiting to Exhale, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Black Panther, and 911. Known for portraying women who command the room, Bassett is celebrated for her regal demeanor, articulate delivery, and the quiet fire she brings to every scene. But off-screen, she's also a dedicated philanthropist, working with youth programs, the arts, and global humanitarian causes alongside her husband, actor Courtney B. Vance. At 66, Angela Bassett isn't just still working, she's dominating. With each performance, she redefines what it means to be timeless, powerful, and deeply respected in an industry where that's still too rare for black women. Her legacy isn't finished, it's still being written. In a world that often forgets its trailblazers, these incredible black actresses continue to inspire us with their resilience, grace, and timeless talent. From breaking barriers on Broadway to commanding the silver screen, they've paved the way for generations to come, proving that age is never a limit when passion leads the way. Which of these legendary women left the greatest impression on you? Or is there another name you think deserves a spot on this list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this celebration of enduring black excellence, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with friends, and most importantly, subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence. Your support helps us continue honoring the voices, stories, and legacies that shaped history, and still continue to shine today. Stay inspired, and keep celebrating greatness with us.